My name is Charles Harrell, and I work for the Veterans History Project as a volunteer. I'm in Silver Springs, Maryland. Today is October 7th, 2006. I'm here interviewing Mr. Lancaster. For the record, Mr. Lancaster, what is your full name?
Charles Hubert. Lancaster, Senior.
What is your current address, sir?
934 Eastern Avenue, Northeast. Washington 20019.
And what is your current phone number?
202-398-1149.
Where were you born, Mr. Lancaster?
Washington, D.C.
And when were you born?
July the 3rd, 1918.
What branch of service were you in during World War II?
Infantry.
And what company were you attached to?
I was in the 92nd Division. I commanded Company F for the 371st Infantry. But my first assignment was with the 372nd Infantry.
What was your highest rank?
How's that?
What was your highest rank?
Captain.
Did you begin your service as a second lieutenant?
No. Private.
As a private?
Well, private.
Did you enlist or were you
I
drafted?
enlisted.
When did you enlist, sir?
1938.
And what year were you released from service?
I was retired, I think. I checked my card. I'll get them kind of senile, old age here. 20, either 51 or 53.
So you were in for about 15 or so years?
Yes, until the Korean War. I was going for all the way. The Korean War broke out, got me put out.
Did you only serve in World War II?
That's right. I went on inactive status in May 1951.
Where were you stationed, or where did you serve during World War II?
Well, with the 92nd Division, I went in to Camp George T. Robinson, Arkansas. And from Arkansas, I went to Fort Wachuca, Arizona. But I had put in 5 years before I went to the 92nd.
Did you serve in Italy?
Yep.
I'd like to drop back. You're one of the older guys in the division I've interviewed.
That's right.
So you must remember the 1930s pretty easily.
I do.
Do you recall anything before the 1930s?
I remember when I first tried to join the Army, the recruiting station was up at 18th and G Northwest. And the guy told me up there I had to go to Fort Myer.
Fort Myer in Virginia?
Just that to join. They didn't take colored in up there. So I joined. I went over to Fort Myer and went into C Troop, 10th Cavalry. Captain Herb, ERB, was troop commander.
As a private?
As a private.
What did your parents think about you going off to join the Army?
Well, one of 5 boys, they didn't think too much of it. Because that's back during the days of the Depression, and the Army was the only place where we could be in, we call them colored back in them days, could get a decent, salary.
Did you have a job before you went into the Army?
Yes.
What did you work as?
I worked for the Eagle Bedding Company for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, for $14 a week.
What were you doing with them?
Driving a truck at 16.
So at what age did you join?
The Army?
Yes.
That's it. Let me see. 1918, 28, 38. I was about 19, 20 years old.
19, 20. Had you
19 or
graduated?
20, something like
Had
that.
you graduated high school?
Yeah, graduated from Phelps Vocational School.
What did you want to do in high school?
Carpenter by trade.
but you didn't get that chance.
No.
Can you tell me a little bit about your father?
Yes, he owned a transfer company, and that's what helped to make me join the Army, because I got tired of moving pianos at 14, 15 years old.
So you were looking for something different.
Yes, sir.
What was his name?
Reverend John R.D. Lancaster.
Were you a very religious family?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Baptist or?
Baptist.
Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about your father? Was he old enough to be in the First War?
Yes, I imagine he was.
Was he?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
No.
Didn't go. How about your? What was your first day like in the 10th Cavalry at Fort Myer?
Well, we just sat around. They wouldn't let us do anything. We just sat around there for a day or two. And then they assigned us to a sea troop. All we had to do was shovel and turn the bedding over in the stables and walk the horses. They didn't even let us get on the horses.
Why didn't they let you get on the horse?
Because troops just joined, see. And we had to, where the Pentagon is now, we had to walk the horses all around out there and carry them back and put them in the stalls. And clean, the shovel the manure and stuff out and clean the stables out, and that's all we did, wash the horses down. That's all we could do.
Did you live at Fort Myer?
No, not for the first 5 days. That's where it messed up. And my retirement record right now show that they didn't even remember my original serial number.
So it seems like everything got screwed up.
They screwed up. And I still remember V1186.
How long did you keep working for the 10th Cavalry at Fort Myer?
Just when I joined, they signed me to the 10th Cavalry. They're in the process of inactivating them. They breaking up the cavalry units and just turning into mechanized units.
Did you have any friends who joined up too?
Oh, there were 28 of us joined up there.
Was it all the same neighborhood?
We all were assigned to the Sea Troops, 10th Cavalry. Sergeant Mark Matthew was the first sergeant. He just died 2005, the first week in December, at 111 years old.
Was your mother alive at this time?
Oh, yes.
What did she think about you going to the service?
She didn't like it, but...
What was her name?
Marion Lancaster.
As 1938 was rolling along, World War II was beginning in Europe.
In Europe, yeah. Germany occupied the Sudetenland. But I've been military all my life, put it that way. I went to Washington High School Cadet Corps in the early 30s. Come up right straight on and went on into the Army.
So you knew the world situation was boiling over?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you know of anything about Nazi racism?
No.
Were you given an opportunity to advance during those first months in the cavalry?
No. It wasn't until I was assigned to the 372nd Infantry.
When did that happen?
In 1941.
So how you were in the 10th Cavalry for almost 3 years?
No. They broke up the 10th Cavalry. They transferred us to Camp Croft, South Carolina.
Camp Croft?
Croft, C-R-O-F-T,
Okay.
South Carolina, on Cadre.
Had you been down south that far before?
No.
What was your impression when you went down to South Carolina?
Stay on the post, don't go in town.
Were you frightened for your life?
No, but some of the men who went into Spartanburg, they got beat up, locked up, messed up, and so therefore why go look for trouble when you stay away from it?
So for how long did you stay at Fort Croft, South Carolina?
13 weeks, and I asked for transfer, and that's when they transferred me to the 372nd Infantry, Fort Dix, New Jersey.
How was that versus South Carolina?
It was altogether different. Different class of people up there, white people.
You were able to leave base without, you were able to leave
Oh, yeah,
base?
if I wanted to leave, but I never was one of them to go in town and mess around. I
Would-
just stayed there and read the Army regulations and everything. That's what got me in trouble.
What do you mean got you in trouble?
Well, it's many years later, that's when the trouble started, because I could quote the major Army regulations to you.
After the war?
No, during the war.
During the war. The race relations in South Carolina seemed pretty tough,
Yes.
but not so in New Jersey.
No,
As a black soldier in the 372nd at Fort Dix, were you bunking with other black soldiers in the
No,
barracks?
The 372nd Infantry Regiment was all black, commanded from the colonel on down. It was a complete black outfit.
Did you stay along with those other folks that you had joined up with?
Well, yeah, no, up until what happened, I was assigned to a heavy weapons company in H Company in 372nd. And I excelled so on the 81 millimeter mortar. I held the highest gunner's rating in the First Army on the 81 millimeter mortar. For instance, the book said you could put 45 shells up in the air in a minute. I could put up 80 in a minute. But see, young, crazy, didn't worry about anything, not realizing that what we were doing was detrimental to us. We were pulling all the safety pins out of the fuses, see? And I was the #1 gunner. And as long as I could keep that gun balanced and traverse and search it, that guy just keep dropping them in, boom, 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 and they were just going out. Now, if they happen to hit one, I wouldn't be sitting there now talking to you.
So as a gunner, you were aiming at not dropping the round.
No, I'm the #1 gunner. I'm the man who aims that gun.
Had you been promoted?
No, because see, most of the 372nd, the 2nd Battalion, that came from Cincinnati and Toledo, Ohio. They favored their men. But when General Ox came down to Fort Dix, he was the commanding officer of the First Army, came to visit Fort Dix. They called on my squad to put on the demonstration. And then when General Ox said to Lieutenant Woodard, the company commander, for God's sake, who's on that gun? Because I was dropping them in there, traversing and searching, they were coming down, bip, 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 bip. And so he went to turn around and say, and he said, well, here's the gun crew here. But General Ox didn't believe him. Because see, 81 millimeter mortar is in what they call position defilade, that's down in the valley. And it's high angle fire weapon. See, we fired the shell, but I was so slick, they had to leave enough increments on it to send the shells up in the air high enough for us to get from the gun up to see the shells come down. So General Ox didn't believe it, we did it. So we went back this time, and I fired another round, and I threw the heavy up there and a heavy back here. By the time we got up, we could see half of them coming down. Then Germany really started to mess over there. They bombed Pearl Harbor. They moved the 372nd to Fort J, New York.
Fort J.
Fort J, New York. We were stationed in an old post office building on East 22nd Street. And we were guarding the line of Normandy and all the border works up there. And 5 days after they pulled us off the line of Normandy, that's when they caught a fire. They would swear we were too enforceful. See? And so we were having a regimental review out on East River Drive when General Ox, who was interviewing the regiment, was walking down. He stopped. He looked over there. He hollered at me, "Soldier, come out here." Well, see, I know regulations say the soldier don't just come out of the ranks because he's a general and he call you out of the ranks. You got to wait like company commander give you the order to come out of rank. So anyhow, when he said Woodard said, "Lancaster, come out here." Then General Ox said, "Isn't this that man on that 81 millimeter mortar?" The general said, "Yes." He said, "Why is his sleeve clean?" with his qualifications. He gave him 30 days to get me up to staff sergeant.
So he was impressed.
Yes, and so from that day is when they called me before a board at the regimental headquarters, or forget in Central Park, right there, Central Park. And they interviewed me there and asked me if I was given a patrol to go out, and were told not to fire, a reconnaissance patrol, not a combat reconnaissance patrol, but if an enemy squad happened to trap you, how would you fight your way out of it? Well, I said, I'd throw hand grenades at them. He said, why you throw hand grenades? I said, so they won't know where the fire's coming from. And so that impressed me. They asked me a couple more, went on back to the company, and then I forget my platoon leader's name now, he was a lieutenant. Anyhow, he said, Lancaster, you're going to Fort Benning. See?
Why Fort Benning?
The infantry school. He said, don't you want to become an officer? And I said, no, sir, I'm intended to stay right here. He said, but I'm afraid you can't be that way. And so that's when we went. I was along with a lot of the other fellows from the 372nd Div, which made up most of the officers of the 92nd Buffalo Division.
So you went to officer's candidacy
Yeah,
school.
the kind of OCS on 11.
You traveled back down south again.
Oh, yes.
How'd you get down there?
All of us, we was on a Southern Railway train, but it was a troop train. We didn't have contact with civilians. That's to come later on. Yes, sir.
Were you able to stop the train and get off at any time?
No. We went straight on down to Fort Benning, Georgia. And that's where we stayed, right there on the post. Until we went into Columbus, Georgia to get it when we graduated. They took us into Columbus, Georgia to get our uniforms, and the uniform store didn't want to sell us the uniforms.
Why?
Black.
Just because you're black?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the commanding general of the post, I forget it, I don't remember his name, he went in there and said he would put Columbus, Georgia off limits to all military personnel, and that would really devastate the economy there then. See, if he didn't straighten that situation out. And the guy in the uniform store said to me, you Cuban, aren't you? And I said, see. He fit me real good.
In OCS, did you excel in any one particular part of being an officer?
No, because in the infantry school, they had to cover all branches of the military service, like foot soldier, artillery, chemical warfare, you just name it, whatever's in the army, you had to learn that in the infantry school. And you crammed it down your neck in 13 weeks.
You were able to do that?
Yes, in fact, we out I think 312 men, only 9 failed that was a mixed company, the white and black. There was every nationality in OCS 111 except Japanese and German. But all the rest of them mixed up.
And only 9 dropped out of that class?
No, only 9 flunked out, didn't make the grade out of 312, which was Captain, I forget his name too. But anyhow, he said he was elated.
Where did they send you after you became a second lieutenant?
Well, they activated the 92nd Buffalo Division, October the 15th, 1942, at Fort McClellan, Alabama. They assigned me to the 371st Infantry Regiment of the 92nd Division at Camp Joseph D. Robinson, Arkansas.
What position did you hold there at Fort Robinson?
When I first arrived there, they assigned me to the regimental headquarters band because I had a run-in with the colonel before I got there. In fact, I had 15 days delay en route from the infantry school at Fort Benning to Camp Joseph T. Robinson, Arkansas. So I came home Then when I got ready to leave, I went down to Leslie J. McNair, you know where it is, Southwest, to Army War College. They cut my orders, but I told them where I had to report. They assigned me to the Southern Railway train by numbers, the coach by numbers, and the seat by numbers. When the train was passing through Woodbridge, Virginia, the silver badge conductor came up to me and says, "Lieutenant, let me see your orders, please." And I said, "Sure, here." He said to me, "You're in the wrong coach." Well, it didn't dawn on me right away what he was getting at. So I said, "I'm in according to these orders. I mean, there's just coach number so-and-so and seat number there. I'm all right." He got mad and went and got the gold badge conductor. He came back here. He told me I was in the wrong coach. And they still didn't hit me yet. And so the gold badge conductor told the silver badge conductor to go get the MPs. The MPs came back and said, "Lieutenant," they salute me and I salute them back. He said, "Lieutenant, sir, may we see your orders?" They looked and they said to the conductor, "Hey, he's in the right coach. And they're on the right side." And they got hot as hell.
When you say gold and silver badge conductor,
The elderly conductor had the gold badge, gold.
is it the railroad police?
Yeah. No, the conductors on the train.
Okay.
I guess I should call them. The ones that had the silver-looking badge.
Right.
And the headman had the gold badge. The gold braid, or whatever you call it on his hat. It's a metal piece.
So they got all upset that they didn't get away.
They got upset, but then that worse is yet to come. I kept wondering why the white folks were leaving the coach every now and then. But after a while, I just figured they were going to get something to eat or something. It just didn't bother. When they got to Memphis, Tennessee, the gold badge conductor come back and smiling and says, "We'll be here for about 35 minutes, Lieutenant, and then we'll be on our way." And I said, "I'm all right, sir." It's still not figuring out what's going on. So the train pulled forward, it backed up, it pulled forward, it backed up, it kept that up, and then they stopped. And I looked out the windows to my left, boxcars. I looked out the right, boxcars. They cut the coach out the train. They left my ass sitting there.
Wow.
And
all
then
because of
the race. It dawned on me then what was wrong. I was supposed to be sitting up with the black people behind the engine. See? And so I'm sitting there not knowing that this black Pullman porter come in there to check the coach. And he walked up to me and said, "Lieutenant, what are you sitting here for?" I told him what the conductor told me. He said, "So that train's been going 40 minutes ago." I said, "Damn. Now what am I supposed to?" He said, "Well, don't look at it." He said, "Well, there's not another train through here until 8:20 tonight." He looked up his code. He says, "No, but where you got to go?" I said, "Camp Joe T. Robinson, Arkansas." He said, "There's a trailway bus coming through that we can get you on that. That will get you there on time." He said, "What time you supposed to be there?" I said, 5:30 this evening. It's 17:30 hours. He said, well, I started getting my. He said, "No, just sit still a minute." He went out and got some other blacks from out civilians to come to help me carry my bags. They walked me, going it, I guess, a mile. They stopped out in the middle of this dusty field. And so I said to one of the fellows, "Where the hell is the bus station?" He looked at me, them folks down south. He looked at me, he said, "This is it." He said, "The bus is here." Then I looked across the street and I see on the sign those niggas were around the back. I said, "Lord, where in the hell am I going?" And I said to him, "So here come the trailway bus pulling up." The bus driver, the white folks start crowding on the bus. He said, no, get off military personnel first." He looked over there at me and said, "Look like you the highest ranking soldier here." He said, take the seat right behind the driver's seat." Well, I'm a little reluctant now. So he insisted. So I went, "So how about my bags?" And the fellows told, "Don't worry, we'll take care." When we get to Little Rock, Arkansas, here's where my first court martial comes in there. Get to Little Rock, my order said to call the regimental headquarters. They would send a staff car to pick me up at the bus station or train station. When I called, there's Lieutenant Lotz. Now he was from New York. He wasn't prejudiced. I kept insisting in the fourth time, Colonel Sterling A. Wood, a real redneck from Biloxi, Mississippi, who was the commanding officer of the 371st Infantry Regiment, got on the phone and he said to me, "You one of them new nigger officers assigned to my command. If you don't have your black ass out here by 17:30 hours, I'm a court martial. You understand me, son?" Bam! And hung the phone up. The bus driver looks at me and he says, "More trouble, Lieutenant?" And I said, "You're goddamn right." He said, "What's wrong?" Then I told him, and come to find out, he was from New York too. And he said, and he looked and saw my cross rifles. And he said, "You infantry subject, go over and get your damn fool self killed for this kind of shit." He said, "Hold tight a minute now." So he went out, the bus driver, this white bus driver went out and got some other blacks to come in and carry my bags. Because I had a bunch, knew also I got everything. They walked my tail, I guess, 7 blocks, them country blocks. Then put me, they said, here's the bus that goes right through Camp Joseph Rollins. Got on there, and I asked them, wasn't nothing on the bus but white soldiers. They were coming on kidding me, saluting. No, I was saluting them back. So I asked one of them, look pretty friendly. I said, "Did this bus go through the 371st Infantry area?" He said, "Yeah, the damn thing, right on dead through the middle damn place." I said, "But you wouldn't mind telling me when?" He said, "Sure, I'll let you know one stop ahead." So when I get there, he told me, and I pulled the cord, the bus stops. I get part of my stuff off the bus. He pulls off. I'm beating on the side of the bus. But the white soldiers on it make him stop the bus. They holler, "What's the matter, Lieutenant?" I said, "How much rest of my stuff is on the bus for?" So they helped me off. Then the bus pulled off, went down about 200 feet. The bus stopped. The white soldiers threw the bus driver off the bus and took the bus and went on down the highway with it. When I got down to, some black soldiers come along and helped me down the hill about a block to regimental headquarters. And when I walked in there, and I walked up to the counter, and I reported to Lieutenant Locke, the adjutant. When I looked out the corner of my eye, I saw this turkey sitting back there. Boy, he was about an ugly looking red. I'm telling you don't describe him. But he was an evil ass man. And when Lieutenant Locke went back and told him that I was there, he kept me standing out there by the counter for about 10 minutes. Then when I walked up there, and I saluted him and said, "Sir, Lieutenant Lancaster reporting for duty, sir." And he kept me sitting right there, doggone like this here damn for almost 20 minutes. Then he hollered for the lots, "Come take that nigga out here and sign him to the band." 3 days later, they were having a school on interior guard duty. And like I said, when I was in the 372nd, I didn't go to town. All I did was read regulations and memorize. This white second lieutenant was given the class on interior guard duty. And he said that any officer could walk up to a sentinel while on post and relieve him of his weapon. Well, the dude sitting on my right, Lieutenant Harris and Lieutenant Jeffries they knew I didn't go to town. They knew I knew my regular. They want to say, "Is he right, Lanky? Is he right, Lanky?" Hell no, he's not right. And so they said, "Get him, Lanky, get him." And before I knew it, I said, "Question, Lieutenant." And then he insisted that he was right. So he said to me, I said to him, "Sir, I beg to differ with you because Army Regulation 600-355, and that was the regulation I still remember to this day, 7 years ago. Army Regulation 600-355. So state, and I quoted for him, Colonel Wood back here, holler, "Nigga, what regulation you say that was?" And I said, "The 600-355, sir." He told Lieutenant Lotz to go over to the regimental headquarters and see if there was such a damn regulation. Lotz came back, looked at me and winked his eye, because he had evidently looked and read it. And then that's when Wood said to me, "Well, nigga, you better quote it, and if you miss one word, I'm going to court-martial your black ass in the morning," just like that. And so I said, "Sir,
Army Regulations 600-355, found on page 17, paragraphs E and F, so states, no person except the commanding officer, officer of the day, officer of the guard, and non-commissioned officer of the guard can walk up to a sentinel while on his post and relieve him of his weapon. The next morning, 5 o'clock, the company man said, Lancaster, you got to report to regiment headquarters. I said, what the hell? I ain't even had no breakfast. He said, you better get the hell on over there, son. I went over there. Lots. That's the whole woods I was there. I went in there and snooped the woods. He cussed me out from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. Called me all kind of niggas and everything else and said he did not allow no nigger officer embarrass his white officer. And he court-martialed my ass and gave me 3 months. Confined me to the company area and took my pay for 3 months. That was the first court-martial. I was court-martialed in the 92nd Division 7 times. Because like I'm talking to you, I didn't back down on none of them.
Do you have a photographic memory?
I don't know, but right to this day, I can tell you when Sergeant Mark Matthew, Sergeant Bernice Hayes at the 10th Cavalry kicked me in the ass over there at Fort Myer, Virginia, because when he was inspecting the troop, he said, my name is Sergeant Bernice Hayes. I was telling the guy, ain't that a damn woman's name, Bernice? I didn't know the sucker heard me. And when he gave open ranks, that's the first one. And somebody's come back and he stuck his foot in my hind parts and kicked me damn near over the front ranks. I ain't forgot that sucker's name to this day.
How long did you stay in Fort Robinson before you went somewhere else?
Well, no, I said, the 371st Infantry was in Camp Joseph T. Robinson, Arkansas. The 365th Infantry Regiment was in Camp Atterbury, Indiana. The 370th Infantry Regiment was stationed at Fort Breckinridge, Kentucky. And the division headquarters was in Fort McClellan, Alabama. The division was brought together in early 43 in Fort Wachuca, Arizona. That's the home of the Buffalo Soldiers.
And you traveled with the soldiers
The 370
there.
friends. I see. What happened? I don't know how we succeeded in combat with the ignorant white officers we had. It was the scum of the bottom of the barrel that was assigned to that division, with a very few exceptions. This is no lie. And we went on maneuvers in Louisiana in 1943. And this Major Lynn L. Bowen, who was the commanding officer of the 2nd Battalion of the 371st Infantry, all we had to do was walk 3/4 of a mile. We were in the back bivouac area here. The compass reading was supposed to go like 6 degrees this way, 12 that way, 18 that, for about 3/4 of a mile. He walked us around. We crossed the line of departure at 5 p.m. 4 a.m. we still going around and around. We were crossing a little stream about that wide at first, and by the time there's 1,300 men kept on going across that stream was wide as this is, and the men mutinied.
Tell me about that mutiny. Tell me what happened during that mutiny.
The men said, wouldn't go no more. And so I went up to Major Bowen and said, Major Bowen, look, Lieutenant Singleton and I tried to go see where the hell we supposed to be going, sir. And he said, you hold the men here and I'll go. We didn't see him no more, but it was raining like hell. And we laid down, I ain't got nothing on but the haversack strap. And the men laid them, and one of them come up to me and said to me, Lieutenant, I'm hungry and cold. And I said, well, just a minute. And just then I could hear some gasoline engines running. And I said to Singleton, that damn sound like trucks. We climb up over top of this little rising hill, and that's where we were supposed to be. Come out, go up, go up. And here we've been down here going round and round and round this chair all night long.
And you think it was because the officers...
The officers so inefficient, couldn't read the compass. The next 3 days later, when we were in one of the simulated attacks, the 365th Infantry Regiment was supposed to be abreast of the 371st Regiment. The 371st Regiment had overlapped the 365th combat team.
Right.
Commanding General Almond. My company that I commanded was the left flank company. General Almond came up in a Jeep. He said, Lancaster, who the hell's commanding this damn battalion? I said, Major Bowen, sir. The same one that kept going around circle. He said, you know what the asthma you supposed to be advancing on? I said, yes. They told us originally 7 degrees. But are you advancing on 70? No. What the hell goddamn asthma you advancing on? I said 13 degrees. Where the hell did you get? I said, Major Bowen insists that was the great asthma. He said, tell Major Bowen to report to me. You take command of this damn battalion and get it up.
So you got command of a battalion of
A
men.
battalion for 3 days. I was the only black in the 92nd Buffalo Division to command the battalion for 3 days.
Was born removed? Was born removed permanently?
No, they. Are you kidding? There's another officer right over in Arlington, Virginia, Major. In fact, he's a brigadier general, Major Ronnie. I tell you, you know, the 92nd Division was a promotion haven for white officers. They'd come in there as second lieutenant, and in 30 days they'd be captains. Black fig, you know what that means? Frozen in gray.
And
I
you,
commanded F Company for over 2 years.
as a second lieutenant?
No, as a first lieutenant.
Lieutenant? First lieutenant.
Because see, I was originally assigned to, after it got messed straightened up, we went to Fort Wachuca, I was assigned to a heavy weapons company, which I was trained to just for a while. But see, they didn't want blacks commanding a heavy weapons company because the heavy weapons company stayed back from the lines. They want the white officers to command them, that they wouldn't get up and get all messed up.
Tell me about your trip across the ocean.
Well, we were in Patrick Henry, Virginia. We went aboard the ship, 5 a.m. the first day of October, 1944.
Were you on the Mariposa?
No, sir, that's the 370th Infantry went on the SS Mariposa.
What ship?
We were on the Fitzhugh Lee, the Liberty ship, going chug, 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 6 knots. We landed the 31st day of October.
So you were on a month.
On 1 solid month.
Where did you land?
Well, at first, we landed down in Naples, but never got off. They took us and then went on up to Leghorn. We had landed at Leghorn. They told us to bivouac here. As soon as we set up the tents, they come at the rental came and said, break tip. Come 2 hours after Company F of the 371st Infantry landed in Italy. We were up in the lines fighting.
Just two hours.
2 hours after we landed.
Did you get seasick while on board the ship?
But half the men in the company did. Because I'm a waterman too, you know, down Chesapeake Bay out there fishing one thing and all.
So you were used to it?
You
were used to it. Where did they send you on the front line? Do you recall?
Well, yeah. We went out, first we landed at Via Reggio. Then they moved us down to Pietrasanta. From Pietrasanta down to Vecchio. Then at Seravezza is where we went up in the mountain. Because what had happened, the 370th Infantry Regiment had attacked this Caula. They were halfway up. And the Germans, you know, had cut them down so bad, they were still holding on with the clerks and everything else. That's when they threw my company and K Company up there fast to try to take the rest of the people, which we did.
Within 2 hours, you're on combat duty.
We were in combat. That's when I had the first run-in with the command, with the new command. Because see, up in Fort Wachuca, Arizona, the guys got so sick of Colonel Woods. Now, I swear by God, I had nothing to do with it. But they caught him going up to what is known as the Fry Gate. That's the East Gate. And they bombarded him so damn bad that, unfortunately for me, I was walking in regimental head. I didn't even know it happened. I was walking in regimental headquarters. It had happened a week before, and here he come out regimental headquarters. And I looked at him. I said, damn, Colonel, you catch one of these cougars got hold of you? Boy, he looked at me and rolled his eyes. But see, they relieved him of command because they knew sooner or later they're gonna kill his butt. See, like they did 2 or 3 other white officers out there. They moved them all over the division. This is no damn lie. To stop them from getting busted up.
By their own men, fragging.
By their own men. Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the first moment that you came under fire yourself. What did it feel like for you?
If anybody say that's ever been in combat say they wasn't scared, you tell them see me. I'll tell them personally they're a damn liar.
What happened?
Look, I had the best company, Company F. The men worshiped me, idolized me. But like I told them, no soldier, don't worry about it. I'm scared shitless too. So you have to be scared too. It's just nervous, you don't know what the hell to do. But after you're up there for a few days, that's when you become cocky. I can't get hit. That's when you do get hit. They asked me, I got hit right in the foot.
How did that happen?
Well, I had one of my men, I say, go on up on the point there. Throw it around over there to German positions.
With the mortars?
Yeah. And when you do that, that's when all hell breaks loose. The Germans will retaliate, you can believe me. And I went diving for my hole, but evidently I didn't bring this foot in fast enough, and it went right through the shoe pack and cut my foot right there. Wasn't serious. Okay.
What was it from machine?
From shrapnel.
Shrapnel? Did it,
I had to go back to the aid station. They sold me up and gave me Purple Heart. I signed my thing. Went on back up to the company.
basically in one day, or did you stay back there?
I was there sort of 5 days when I got hit in the foot. But on the 18th is when I really got it.
What happened on the 18th
Well,
of November?
here we go again.
November, right?
Yeah, this is November. On the 16th of November, 1944, General Alman, see, after we had taken that peak, we were way up there. Captain Ivy, who was white, commanded K Company with me. Major Walker, who commanded the 3rd Battalion, came up and they had serious words. They pulled Captain Ivy and K Company off, left me by myself. See, up there holding that peak. On the 16th of November 44, my men hollered, "Hey, Chief!" Well, you know, they all MFs and this, some MF is coming up the hill. So I take my field glass and I look, it's the Commander General of the 92nd. So he comes up there, where's your forward positions, Lancaster? Right up here, sir. He won't be like General Patton, you know, silver helmet, silver stars. Here I am with neon sign. Here I am, Germans. Then I told him when he was up there, I said, now, General, right up there, where that mountain comes down the crevice like that. The Germans have an 88 up there, and I saw this Jeep coming down Highway 1. When that gun fired and hit that Jeep, he looked at me for a second. He said, "You saw that gunfire?" I said, "Yes." He said, "That was my Jeep. That's when Captain Hobert got killed." I said, "But I called back to battalion headquarters and asked them to open fire on the damn gun. They told me they couldn't do it." He said, "It's a lie." Now here's the general up there. You know as well as I know, them folks back there knew he came up there. And so he tells me, call back in and tell them to fire a couple of rounds on that position up there. See what they do. Every damn gun back there sound like opened up. And then that's when I said to him, all right, General, we opened the hornet's nest. We've been unasked this point here because not the shit's going to start falling. He didn't believe me. But when that first mortar round hit, I said, well, you stay. I'm gone. And I ran back down and got him by a hole. And he, in that second round, I bet you he was in the hole with me. And they blasted our ass and they rocked. And I said, now, it's going to be a lull here for about 10 minutes. So if you want to start down that hill, just then here come another round and boom, I said, okay, now you got 30 minutes. I had him time. So he says to me, Lancaster, when the last time Notestein and them been up here? Now Notestein is the commanding officer of the regiment. And I looked at him, I said, sir, they ain't never been up here. He said, they have never been up here. I said, no, sir. He said, them lying bastard. I asked Notestein, and Notestein said he was up here yesterday. Now, what can I say? He asked me. I hadn't been there, so I told him the truth. The next day, the 17th, my men holler, here come a bunch of motherfuckers up the hill. Look through my glass, here come Notestein and them. Notestein comes up there, and I said, sir, you want to go my fault? No, where's your command post? This hole in the cave. Go in the hole. He said, you told General Harmon I wasn't up here. I said, sir, he asked me, have you ever been up there? And I told him the truth. He said, just for that, you'll attack Big Georgia. Now, Big Georgia is the same peak that K Company tried to attack a few days before and got wiped. Damn, they wiped out. And so he making me attack it now without any support and fire. So when he left, I called to my rear CP, command post, and told Lieutenant Hurd, my executive officer, to get in touch with the assistant regimental adjutant, that's Lieutenant Scott, he's black, in regimental, to get in touch with Colonel McCaffrey at division headquarters. See, McCaffrey wasn't prejudiced. And I get the word back what Notestein told me to do. And that I wasn't going to have any support and fire. Notestein called me about an hour later and said, hey, Cass, I got good news for you. Oh, man, I had so damn much artillery shit, I could have blown the Germans clear out of France from over there in Italy.
Do you think the other regiments had as bad of
No.
officers?
We're talking
as yours?
to some of the other officers. Now, 370 had some bad officers, some bad white officers. But they said 365th, the guy said, I'm glad. Okay, be right there. They were glad to be in the 365th because Colonel Armstrong didn't believe in that stuff. 371 was the worst regiment in the division, race-wise.
When you came across your first dead German, what went through your mind?
Nothing. Glad he is him and not me.
How about your first dead American?
Well, now, that's like today. This is no lie. I know where one American is. I buried him. Nobody knows where he is but me. There's a possibility I can show you where 5 are buried. See, but other soldiers saw them being buried there, and they could have. But see, all they have to do is go to Italy, get the grave registration to see whether they're in that cemetery in Italy or have they been brought. I don't think they bring them back home unless they're requested. But this one soldier who was with the 370th, he was stinking so bad that I crawled out there and took my entrenching tools, laid him alongside him so Germans wouldn't see me, and dug a slit trench and pushed him over in it and covered him up. But just he ain't but that far under, just enough of dirt to cover him. And nobody knows where he is but me.
Have you ever visited the area?
No, I ain't. But me, where am I get the money from to go over there? Oh, no, when I got hit the second time on the 18th of November, I spent 6 weeks in the 300th General Hospital. 6 months in the 300th General Hospital. In the 29th Station Hospital, I spent 2 weeks. They transferred me to the 114th Station Hospital for 10 days. From there, they transferred me to Naples to the 300 General Hospital.
Well,
and I still got shrapnel in my ass right now.
How'd you get that?
Artillery fire, Germans. Like I told you, the colonel told me I had to attack Big Georgia.
That's
Now,
when it happened.
But see, that same Major Linnell Bowen, Colonel Ostein said to me, Lancaster, I don't think your radio will carry from that distance back to the battalion. So they're going to establish an intercommunication channel. They're going to put Major Bowen and Lieutenant Runyon up on the mountain you're taking off of. You are -4 forward to -4, we are dash. I went over there. The Germans, my company, like I said, they were the best. We maneuvered. The Germans was on that side of the wall. We were on this side of the wall. They didn't even know we were there. And for 15 minutes, I kept calling, -4 forward, -4 forward, this is -4. Won't respond. When I sent Eddie L. Johnson to check, a shell come down and hit him and blew him all to pieces. See? So I jumped up before what the hell I was doing and ran. Here's the radio laying there. Well, I got the cursing for MF distance. I was sailing off. That's when Bowen and Runyon come out the cave. See? But then when I started back over to where the men were around Germany, the shell hit my ass and blew me off that mountain. In fact, we were hit the 18th day of November. And we laid up there until the 19th, till the Germans raised the white flag to get their dead and wounded. We inflicted 137, we killed 137 Germans. I only lost 5 killed and 19 wounded, including myself.
And that was it for your war.
That was the end of my war. And they reclassified me. But see, meantime, the colonel busted my ass from a captain back to a first lieutenant. The prejudice.
When the war ended, did you get a chance before you were shipped home to visit Germany?
No. Because I've spent 29 days. I don't know if you know where Monte Alto Veterans Hospital was up at Wisconsin Avenue and Massachusetts Avenue or not. The German embassy's on that ground now. That's where I was spending most of the time, back and forward. And then that's when 51, that's when this Korean War broke out. Now they called me from a physical. That's when they retired me. 6 months before I could draw my retirement pay.
As a frontline soldier, you said you were scared at first, then you got cocky, and then
Yeah, well, see, that's what you do. You know, once you go into an attack, you're scared. It automatically go all over again. But once you get into it, you go crazy.
Did you carry anything for good luck?
No, nothing but my damn carbine.
Was there any time that you actually shot and you knew you killed one of the bad guys?
Huh?
Did you ever shoot and know you killed the bad guy?
Yeah, I killed Lieutenant Berger, the commanding officer of German 312th company. I got his P-38 home.
Did that affect you in
No, hell no. He's better you than me. That was my attitude, and that's what I instilled in my men. But you played cowboys and Indians home, do it over here. Sneak up on them and shoot them in the back if necessary.
As you look back on your war experience and your military experience, do you think it affected you any?
Yeah, I dream of it still now. I mean, bad dreams. Wake up at night and shaking, and just about 4 or 5 nights ago, I had one of those attacks. And I have to sit up on the side of the bed.
Is that vivid to you at this, even
Yeah,
60-some years
I
later?
still see it.
My son is 12 years old, and he's listened to 90 veterans tell about their story and their combat and their not so much combat. If you had any advice for a little 12-year-old who...
I would never tell a 12-year-old the horrors of war.
Oh, that's bad.
who wants to go in the military when he grows up.
If he gets of an age and you tell him just what it's going to be like, then that's different. But 12 years old, that's too young to try to. I say when he's 16 and on up, let him know that hero macho stuff you see on television isn't so.
What do you mean?
Like I can't get hit. Like Rambo. Kill up a dozen, 200, 300, 500 men, come out without a scratch, that's bull. That shell got your name on it just like he got the rest of them folks' name on it.
Thank you very much for your interview, Mr. Lancaster. Is there any other things you'd like to say before
No.
we?
Did you tell him about your mess kit?
Yes, I did. Well, my mess kit, I still got it home. I sat over there in that hole, and I took my penknife, and I carved the Lord's Prayer on my mess kit. If you want to see it, I live 934. You got my address. Come out there, you can see my company too.
Thank you very much, Mr.
My mess kit and
Lancaster.
all my gear still all belong to that man upstairs.
Yeah.
Thank God he brought me home.
You and your folks are heroes to are heroes to a whole
That's why I
generation.
can't hear now. This got blowed out of the shelters for 72 hours over there.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.